Okay, so yesterday we have studied about dispersion of light. Dispersion of light is a white light when passes through a glass prism. It splits up into its constituent 7 colors. Okay, and each color is bending, okay, in a different manner. So here we see a band of 7 colors, the emerged colors. After emerging, we see a band of 7 colors, and this band of 7 colors we call it as spectrum. Okay, and this phenomenon we call it as dispersion of light. Okay, which light disperses? White light disperses, as it is a mixture of 7 colors. So here when it is passed through a thick glass, so it will split up into its 7 constituent colors. Okay, so yesterday we have seen that a white light passing through a glass prism, it will split up into 7 constituent colors. So here the emerging light will also be of 7 constituent colors, and when you place a white screen over here, you see a band of 7 colors. The lowermost is the violet one and the uppermost is the red one. Okay, why it disperses? Because every color, each color is traveling with a different speed. The velocity of every color is different in the glass, so that is why it splits up into 7 colors. And here on the white screen we see a band of 7 colors, and this band of 7 colors we call it as spectrum. Okay, now let's see which color bends the most. Which color bends the most and which color bends the least. We know that, or we may say that which color is having the maximum angle of deviation and which one is having minimum angle of deviation. So for this, we extend the incident ray. This is the incident ray. We extend the incident ray. Okay, and we know that the angle of deviation is formed between incident ray and the emergent ray. So these are the two emergent rays for the two extreme colors, violet and red. Okay, for the two extreme colors, here we have seen. Let's extend these colors. This is for red, this is for violet. Okay, now angle of deviation is formed between the incident ray and the emergent ray. This is the angle of deviation for the red color, whereas this one is the angle of deviation for the violet color. So which color is bending the most? The violet color is bending the most, and it is having maximum value of angle of deviation, whereas red color is bending the least, so its angle of deviation is minimum. Okay, so you may draw this figure to show that which color bends the most. Continue in the same page where you are writing, continue in the same page and write down. Okay, draw the figure. This triangle ABC. ABC is what? The triangular face of the glass prism. Draw ABC. Draw one incident ray. Okay, draw one incident ray. Split up into the two extreme colors. Okay, in between the order of the colors will be the same. So split up into two extreme colors, and again bend it and place a white screen. This is the screen, and on the screen you will see the band of 7 colors. The lowermost one will be the violet one and the uppermost one will be the red one. Now extend the incident ray. Extend the incident ray. Okay, and extend the emergent rays for red and violet color. Extend the emergent rays for both the colors, for the two extreme colors, red and violet. Extend the emergent rays. Okay, now the extended red ray is forming some angle with the incident ray. Mark it as angle of deviation for red color, D subscript R. Okay, the violet color which you have extended, the emergent violet color which you have extended, It is also making some angle with the incident ray. That angle, mark it as angle of deviation for violet color. Write down from the drawn the figure, everyone, then write down. I give you 30 seconds more to complete the figure. Okay, ABC, a triangle, which is the triangular face of the prism. Draw one incident ray, split up into, okay, don't show all the different colors, only the two extreme colors could be shown, violet and red color. Okay, then again, they will bend at AC face and place a screen over there. So, the violet color will be the lowermost one and the red will be the uppermost. Extend all these rays, extend these two rays, and whatever angles they are making with the incident ray, mark it as angle of deviation for the respective color. Okay, now write down from the figure. From the figure, we see that violet color bends the most. Violet color bends the most, and the red color bends the least. And the red color bends the least. So, angle of deviation for violet color is more than that of red color. So, angle of deviation for violet color is more than that of red color. Okay, in between the order will be the same. If it is given that green and blue, then you will see this order only. Okay, violet is bending the maximum and red is bending the least. So in between all the colors, you will arrange it in the same manner. So the deviation for the violet color is maximum and for the red color is least. Okay, so then write down hence the deviation for violet color is maximum. For violet color is maximum, and for red color is minimum. Okay, now this part we have completed, dispersion of light. So here we know that white light passes through a thick glass like a glass prism. It splits up into its 7 constituent colors. Okay, and the emerging colors again will be of all 7 different colors. So if you place a screen, you can see all the 7 colors over here. Okay, so this band of 7 colors, we call it as spectrum. And when extended backwards, they are making some angle with the incident ray. Okay, this angle, we know that angle of deviation. So here we see that the angle of deviation for violet color is maximum and for red color is minimum. Okay, so angle of deviation for violet is maximum and for red is minimum. So in between all the colors could be arranged in the same manner. Okay, now Newton was the first one to show that the white light is a mixture of 7 colors. So for that, he took two identical prisms. Okay, two identical prisms were taken. And they were kept in inverted position. In front of each other, they were kept in inverted position. Two identical prisms. Let us name it as P1 prism and P2 prism. And they were kept in inverted position. Okay, they were kept in this manner. Okay, now what was done? A white light was passed through the first prism. Okay, what happens? This white light, the prism will split up into 7 different colors. So here I'm not drawing all the 7 colors, only the 2 extreme colors are drawn. This one is what? Violet color. The upper one is what? Red color. Okay, so the emerging light, when they pass through the second prism, as it was kept in the inverted position. So here, these 7 colors were again merged back to give to the white light. So this light again becomes the white light. White light was passed through the first prism, and the first prism, it splits up into its 7 constituent colors, that is violet to red, and the second prism again recombines all these 7 colors into a single light. So the finally emerging light, that is the emerging light through the prism P2, was again the white light. So this experiment shows that the white light is a mixture of 7 colors. Why? Because what is splitting? Only the prism is splitting. When the second prism was kept in the inverted position, it recombines all the colors and again gives rise the sensation of white light. Okay, so write the question. Give an experiment to show that white light is a mixture of 7 colors. White light is a mixture of 7 colors. Write its answer. Write down. Newton was the first person to show that white light is a mixture of 7 colors. Write down two prism P1 and P2 are kept in the inverted position. As shown in the figure. Two prism. Okay, make it two identical prism. Two identical prism P1 and P2 are kept in the inverted position as shown in the figure. Write down. A white light is incident on the first prism which splits the white light into 7 colors. Write down. Now, as the second prism is placed in inverted position, it recombines all the 7 colors. And the finally emerging light is the white light. and the finally emerging light is the white light. Okay, this shows that the white light is made up of 7 colors. The white light okay, it shows that the white light is made up of 7 colors. The white light is made up of 7 colors. You can draw this figure along with it. First prism P1, the second prism P2, it should be identical. Okay, but how it is placed? In the inverted position. Okay, now pass the white light. It will split up into 7 different colors. Only show the 2 extreme colors. No need to show all 7 lines. Okay, only show the 2 extreme colors, violet and red. The violet will be the lowermost and the red will be the uppermost. Okay, and the second prism will recombine and the finally emerging light is again the white light. So the glass prism, it splits up into 7 colors, but when it is placed in the inverted position and when the 7 colors are falling on it, it will recombine and it will give the sensation of white light. Okay, now very simple topics are left. This only to read from the book, nothing to be much explained. Here, take out page number 194. Page number 194. See the topmost figure 11.7. A rainbow formed in the sky. So let's study how this rainbow is formed. Okay, so any light that gives, leave the first para. We'll start from the second one. A rainbow is a natural spectrum appearing in the sky after a rain shower. So after a rain shower, when the sunlight falls, when the sun comes, then a band of 7 colors is seen in the sky. And this band of 7 colors, we call it as rainbow. It is caused by the dispersion of sunlight by tiny water droplets present in the atmosphere. A rainbow is always formed in a direction opposite to that of the sun. The water droplets acts like small prisms. They refract and disperse the incident light and then reflect it internally and finally refract it again when it comes out of the raindrop. Due to dispersion of white light and internal reflection, different colors reach the observer's eye. You can also see a rainbow on a sunny day when you look at the sky through a waterfall or through a water fountain when the sun is behind you. Okay, now rainbow is a natural spectrum which is formed in the sky. Now what happens after the rain shower? Some water droplets remain suspended in the atmosphere. Some water droplets are there in the atmosphere. Now three phenomena take place. Three phenomena take place to give this rainbow. The first one is the refraction. Okay, the ray of light, the ray of the sunlight is passing from air to the water droplet. And whenever a ray of light passes from one transparent to another transparent medium, we say that it is refraction. So what is the first phenomenon? Refraction. So refraction occurs. Refraction means the sunlight, the ray of the sunlight, it is passing from air to the water droplet. So refraction is occurring. Okay, and then the second phenomenon is dispersion of light. This small water droplet, it is acting like a small prism. So it will split up the white light into 7 colors. Okay, so all these raindrops, they are acting like small prism. So whenever the white light passes through any thick glass, so here it is the raindrop, it will disperse the white light into 7 colors because which light is falling? Sunlight. And the third phenomenon is internal reflection. The third phenomenon is internal reflection, about which you will study in higher classes, that is in class 12. Okay, here internal reflection means the ray of light has entered the raindrop. Okay, after entering it, it will not again go to the atmosphere on the other side. It will be reflected back in the water droplet. In that water droplet, it will be reflected back following the laws of reflection. Okay, detailed study you will study in class 12th about internal reflection. Okay, so for here, you can understand that these three phenomena are taking place to form the rainbow. And what are these? Refraction, dispersion, and internal reflection. Okay, the figure is there in your book also. This is the raindrop. Okay, when the sunlight falls on it, when a ray of light, any ray of light you can consider, this is the ray of sunlight, that is the white light which is falling on this raindrop. Now this ray of light is passing from air to the water. This is the water droplet. So it is made up of water. So it will bend. Okay, now this ray of light will not pass into the air over here. It will be reflected back. It will be reflected from this surface of the water droplet, and then again it will be refracted, and wherever the observer is there, the observer can see the reflected light. Okay, so here it is dispersing also, here it is splitting also. We are not drawing all the 7 colors. This light is being splitted into 7 different colors. So what are the 3 different phenomena? Refraction, this sunlight passing from air to water droplet, bends, so refraction, then it is dispersing into 7 colors. It is splitting this white light into 7 different colors, and these 7 different colors will not pass here to the air over here. They will be reflected back. This we call it as total internal reflection. Okay, not we won't study in detail over here. Okay, this phenomenon we call it as total internal reflection. And again the refraction occurs. Why? Because now the ray of light is passing from water to air. So again the refraction takes place, and the observer can see all these 7 different colors, which we call it as the rainbow. Okay, so this how the rainbow is formed. Okay, and which side the observer should face his back. Okay, so his back should be towards the sun, because the rainbow is formed on the opposite side of the sun. So the back of the observer should be towards the sun. Then only he can see the rainbow. That is, sun is somewhere here, and the observer's back should be, this is the back of the observer. Sun will be somewhere here. That is why the sunlight is passing. So the observer's back should be towards the sun. Then only he can see the rainbow. If he is facing towards the sun, he will not be able to see the rainbow. So his back should be towards the sun. Then only he can see the rainbow. Okay, is it clear? So you can unmute yourself and let me know, should I dictate or you will write it from the book? You can unmute. Should I dictate how this rainbow is formed, or will you write it from the book? No one is saying.
We'll write from the book.
Okay, so you can write it from the book. So write the question, explain. Write the question, explain. How is rainbow formed? Explain. How is rainbow formed? In the sky. Explain how is rainbow formed in the sky. Okay, so what will you write? After a rain shower, some water droplets remain suspended in the atmosphere. Okay, when the sunlight falls on it, let us consider a ray of light, a ray of sunlight, that is the white light. which is passing from air to the water droplet. Okay, so it will be refracted, then it will be dispersed, then it will be totally internally reflected, and the observer can see all these 7 colors. Why? Because all these small water droplets are acting like the small prism. So the 3 phenomena occurring here are refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection. Is it clear? Everyone will write?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you'll write it from the book, no? Okay, all these 3 phenomena you will write down. These are the 3 phenomena which are taking place for the formation of rainbow. Okay, and also you will draw this figure so that it becomes clear. Okay, and also you will write the condition that the observer's back should be towards the sun. Then only he can see the rainbow. Okay, if he is facing towards the sun, the rainbow is not formed here. So he will not be able to see the sun. So his back should be towards the sun. Clear? Okay, next is atmospheric refraction. Let's read it. You might have observed the apparent random wavering or flickering of the object seen through a turbulent stream of hot air rising above a fire or a radiator. The air just above the fire becomes hotter than the air further up. The hotter air is lighter. Lighter means its density is less than the cooler above it, and hence a refractive index slightly less than that of the cooler air. Since the physical conditions of the refractive medium, that is the air, are not stationary, the apparent position of the object as seen through the hot air fluctuate. Okay, so the refractive index of the air is changing. The hot air is less denser, so it will rise up. The cooled air will come down. So the refractive index of the hot air and the cold air is different. So the refractive index of the air is changing. So when you see any object through the air whose refractive index is changing, it appears to be wavering. So the object appears to be moving, wavering. Okay, since the physical conditions of the refractive medium are not stationary, the apparent position of the object as seen through the hot air, it fluctuates. The wavering is thus the effect of atmospheric refraction by the Earth's atmosphere on a small scale in our local environment. Now we'll study about the twinkling of stars, which is a similar phenomenon. That is, when you are looking at the star, the refractive index, okay, when you are looking at the stars, the refractive index of air is wavering. That is, the refractive index of the air is changing. Okay, because through the whole atmosphere we are seeing there are so many layers of the atmosphere, and that is why the atmospheric conditions, the physical conditions of the atmosphere change, and due to which the stars appear to be twinkled. Okay, this we'll study it tomorrow. Okay, for today you will write down till rainbow. Okay, how is the rainbow formed?